These are the words that I have been using: beautiful, compassionate, fierce, brave, strategic, intelligent, funny, loving, loyal. All of those things describe each in different ways and to different degrees. Each of those kind of adjectives I think stand out, but I think broadly each of those describe, did I say strong? And just strong, like physically strong, mentally strong, resilient, would be how I describe all of the Black women in this movie. And I would say that
words I would use,
yes,
sister I want to go have some cocktails with, sisters I need to hit the club with on Saturday night, sisters I know if it go down they got my back. Sisters who got technology that will make the white man Tony Stark look like,
baby,
you did this? Oh.
When I talk about STEM, like STEM fields, I was like,
You used a magnetic field to move at light speed a train that carried vibranium because it was so volatile. Let's check your science. Real talk.
for real. I was such in awe. So this movie made my heart race. It made me think. It made me cry. It made me laugh. It was everything. And there were these moments that I had watching the film where I was completely immersed and all had those reactions. And then there had these moments where I was a little bit like outside of myself and having a moment or two. And there was this one moment, there's a fight scene that is happening. And I don't think this is too much of a spoiler, but so the general for the Wakanda warriors is a woman, and they have an all-female warrior force in the movie. I don't know about the comics. I'm gonna leave that to Thomas.
Same thing. Comics, movie, same thing.
Okay, same thing. So let's take a minute to just be there in that moment. Let's have a moment of silence to be reflective about the fact that their entire warrior class is all female. Okay,
but isn't that, like, real talk, truer to who we were before colonization? I mean,
so let's do that, right?
Is that where you're about to go?
That's where I'm about to go.
Okay, because this is really a matriarchal society. Because keep in mind, he was the king, but the queen mother was still like, stand up and fight. I mean, can we give it up? Here's for Angela Bassett. This is for you. Oscar robbed. And this is for you.
Did you see the cover of Essence that came out right the week of the film, where it's Lupita, Letitia, Denai, and Angela on the cover?
No, I did.
Oh my God! And so,
please know I had to screenshot it, and I have a copy of it. No, I do.
Yes, I have. I've been using it in many, many different platforms lately.
Okay.
And so somebody on social media was like, "Look at Angela Bassett. Did she drink the blood of unicorns? Like, how does she look?"
Can I just ask a question? I really want to know. Is y'all really on that vegan life with, like, alkaline water? Like, what do I need to do?
Honey, do
you get your shea butter right from Africa and not Harlem? Like, where?
No, what I'm telling you is they have a shea nut tree in their backyard.
They just like go on and get it from the tree, crush them nuts, and wipe it down.
Every day. Every day. That's fresh nut butter skin right there. that
oh, wait a minute.
Amazon
Go on,
Prime,
open up that coconut,
delivery.
Drink that water, and then use the pulp on your skin, boo.
Yes, honey. God, they were so just amazing. So let me go back before we get too tangential. So there's this moment in the film where the Dora, help me, Thomas.
What?
The name of the warriors, the Dora. The Dora. We're gonna call him that.
No, I forgot. Oh my goodness, I just blanked out on the name.
I know. Right. I'm so
Hold
excited.
on, I'm going to pull it up in 2 seconds. Go on.
But so they are fighting, and they are fighting in such an organized and synchronous way, but they're not winning, and then two other Black female characters come in to the rescue. So Shuri comes in, T'Challa's sister, and then Nakia comes in. And I had this moment for myself where I had tears in my eyes. And the literal thought that I had was, I have never felt so seen in my entire life on film. Like, this is what Black womanhood is. And to have that represented on such a worldwide platform and such an authentic way and in such a powerful way with such beauty and grace. It was everything. I got my entire life in that moment. And so, part of what I study is around media and media stereotypes, and particularly media stereotypes of Black women. And because that work is important to me, because I recognize how important representation is, how important it is for you to be able to have a better, deeper, meaningful understanding of yourself when you're able to see images of yourself reflected to you in what you consume. And a large part of what's problematic with mainstream TV, film, music videos, magazines, et cetera, is that Black women are presented as so flat and one-dimensional. And more often than not, those one dimensions are harsh, they're negative, they are maligned ideas about women. And I didn't see any flavor, tinges, nuances of that at all in this film. Everything I saw felt way more consistent with how it is that I aspire to be as a Black woman. How is it that I want my daughter to be as a Black woman? How is it that I see sisters, like I have so many sister friends in my life that have held me down and held me up throughout my life, that I call on, that see the world in a very specific way as I do. And I felt like we were so represented in this film. And I can honestly say I've never seen that happen before.
But, there's something you said when you said aspire to be as a Black woman, and all of these external things that you see women holding you down. I'm gonna go doopy deep, and I'm going to say it's not who you aspire to be, baby sister. That's who you are. That's who my mother was. That's who my aunt. My mother, my aunt, my grandmother. Like, my mother worked 2 jobs, raised 2 kids, and still made sure we had food, clothing, and shelter. Bills were paid. Credit was on point. Taught me the value of education. Made me, during the summer, write reports from books that I had to read, because that's just something you do, right? So, and was still strong enough to hold it down. What you saw was a reflection of the reality of our lives, and not a further perpetration of how white society wants us to see ourselves to reinforce oppression. That's what you saw up in that film. This was a true moment, which is why it's getting so many hate from so many of these ones and twos.
I'm gonna call them, in this instance, I'm gonna call them zeros and ones.
Zeros. Don't even make it binary. Just call them zeros.
I get, and so for me, I use that term aspire to be for a couple things. One, I think having a sense of humility about most things in life is what will continue to keep me moving forward in life. So I always try not to be that much of that one. That's one thing. The other piece is, like I think I said this last week, I try to live from this framework of that I'm a work in progress. So I don't ever want to get too complacent and be like, I am that thing. But I'm always trying to be the moving target of who I want to be for myself. The thing. Okay.
Here's what I know to be true. The following. if we were out and it went down, you would pull out your magic spear and stop a car on my behalf. You would jump in the driver's seat if you still down in Houston. You would jump in the driver's seat and remotely control the car and have your brother hook your brother up going through. So,
yeah. Hashtag fact.
Hashtag spoiler alert. Sorry, but that's actually not, because that's actually a part of the trailer. So no, it's not really a spoiler. Yeah.
Baby, and you know what? That may have been the only spoiler that I did see, or the only trailer that I watched that I was like, oh yeah, like I was gonna go just because why would I not go? But when I saw that particular trailer with the car chase, I was like, oh baby, I'm there, because that's right there.
Shout out to Vince Staples.
Oh, who's Vince Staples?
Shout out to Vince Staples, whose song Ops was playing while that scene was going on. Ops. I need you to understand, I walked to that train here in New York City. Ops, you're dead to me. I mean, just feedback. I sometimes have to say to myself, fix your face. Fix your face. You looking like one of them SW1s from the old Public Enemy. You just fix your face. Fix your face walking on this train.
I mean, that beat is in your chest. It's everything. Like it gets in your body.
Right.
Dang. It's life-changing. So, those are the sisters. The other piece about the piece about it that I think that I love the most is that it showed femininity in the context of strength. And so often you either are like dichotomized as either one or the other. And Black women particularly are kind of villainized to be strong Black women, hard Black women, angry Black women, right?
Angry,
these are the stereotypes.
all the time angry, right?
All the time. And so without ever giving any sense to like the context of why that might be, right? But that sort of stereotype becomes one that is like falsely put upon Black women as just a true characteristic of who they are, without taking into consideration like there's a whole larger like sexist and racist context that surrounds the experience of Black womanhood that might lead them to be more quick to anger or more defensive, et cetera, et cetera. Or there's this other side, right? That femininity oftentimes is equated with weakness or being passive or being submissive. And that you really have to decide to be on one side or the other. And these sisters were neither one or the other. They were in every way, shape, and form both and. And the love for each other, the love to T'Challa, the love to the idea of the king, the love for their country, that right there, baby, oh my God, so real and so palpable. And even in the midst of real threat and violence and danger, never once did it slow them down. I think it only added to fuel them. It only added to make them better warriors. It only added to make them stronger and fight more for their loved ones, for their family, for their country.
Right. We just got actually a message through the chat room, which I think is really important. Thank you again, Kay. She got to it before I could mention it. They're called the Dora Milaje.
Milaje.
Yes.
That's what it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And they are their bodyguards. Well, how do I put this? Their entire lives is dedicated